Hello everyone, welcome back to another G1 Transformers review. This is the final one of the second wave of the Decepticon Seeker Jets, and this is of course Dirge, who again is basically moulded on an F-15 Eagle. As you can see, accessory wise, he mainly came loose accessory wise anyway, with left and right fists. Again, very much a different design from the original Seeker Jets, with his, well, not even a delta wing as such, and they're quite an unusual T sort of shaped wing, and completely different colour from the original Seekers. Even though he is blue, he's a completely different blue from Thundercracker, and again completely unique stickers as well. And again, such as Ramjet, as I mentioned in my other review, this guy didn't have firing weapons, and whether that was down to just moulding cheapness or whether that was down to lawsuits from firing weapons in kids' eyes, I don't know. But these are solid moulded weapons on these particular Seekers. They all came obviously with the same rubber nose, which again you've got to watch out for, that that's in good condition. Again, I assume that's just to stop kids poking themselves in the eye too hard. But a really nice sort of like style jet. Again, by simply changing the wing design, it made them quite unique from each other, with simple colour differences in the moulding process, and very different from the original, like the original three Seeker Jets, in the sense that that is not an F-15 Eagle, other than sort of like the front section really. The rest of it does look considerably different enough to warrant buying a different figure, which again is quite nice because it's not just a recolour and a sort of like the same mould. But yeah, really nice sort of figure. As with all of them, again you've got the same undercarriage at the front, which just pegs in, and again, as I've said before, in robot mode I tend to keep them in the cockpit of the jet, which does open and close. Really nice sort of compact transformer, these sort of Seeker Jets. Anyway, getting to his actual review of him. He's got some really nice moulding details on the wings and on the jet body. Underneath is a bit obviously sort of kibbly, and then just obviously sort of moulding, sort of saving plastic. They did strips in all of these wings to save on plastic bulk. Did have sort of like different pylon positions. It would have been quite nice if he'd had some sort of like little just push on little bomblets as well. That would have been quite nice. But again, for whatever reason, they moulded the almost like the struts in, but no extra weapons. But quite nice, and not too kibbly. It's not too obvious what he transforms into, other than the fact that with all of these Seeker Jets, their faces are underneath. But anyway, getting into his transformation, as what with all of them, I take the wings off to start with, just to make it simpler. Usual transformation on the body, flipping the feet down, move the canopy forward to release the clip on the front of the arms, push the arms round, double hinge the nose cone through and out to become his head. Now again, I'll say what I usually say at this point. This is sort of like the normal mode for a Seeker Jet, but obviously in the cartoons they obviously created them into cone heads, so that the head should be up like so. It does look a bit weird, but again, if you want to be cartoon accurate, that's the way to go with it. And again, as per usual, the fists just peg on, like so. I think they're all okay. And again, as I've sort of said before, you've got completely different sticker applications, especially the feet ones on Dirge, and knee ones are kind of similar, as are these ones, and similar sort of ones onto the air intakes on the jet, but his feet ones are very different from the other ones. For his wings, you just peg them back into the same holes, but that way up, to give him that classic Seeker style design. using his robot mode. Not exactly the most efficient sort of way of having your wings if you was going to run along, which they did tend to clatter, if I remember rightly, from the G1 cartoon. And of course, with these, as I say, pretty basically moulded weapons, they just peg onto his arms, and obviously they don't fire anything. But that's him done. Really nice sort of bot mode. I'll just move the wheel out of the way, bring that in. He's still got his stickers on his eyes, which sort of work, but they would have actually been better if they'd have picked out those details with a little paint application, I think, rather than having a sticker. And they're often missing if you're ever buying one of these second hand. But really nice Seeker jet, well worth picking up, whether you get the reissues, assuming they do a reissue of the second wave. I haven't ever sort of seen those so much. I've seen the original ones reissued, but if they do them, if you can't pick up an original like this one, by all means go for a reissue. It's always great to have all of the Seeker jets, and obviously they make a fantastic display. That's pretty much him, sort of like reviewed. I can't really suggest other than what you'd normally expect on any of the Seeker jets to watch out for damage or that if you're buying them. The die-cast metal part of like the air intake part of the main body, being that most of them I think are in black painted versions. I don't think there's any what aren't black actually, but you obviously got to watch out for paint chipping on these top edges and that, where they're likely to get knocked. And obviously the rubber nose cones do tend to suffer a bit. I'm sure there's quite a few out there what have been chewed by something at some point. But other than that, it's obviously the usual accessories you tend to sort of lose, such as the wheels and the fists. But as I say, well worth picking up. A good sturdy G1 figure. And that's pretty much it. That is the last of the second wave of Decepticon jets. And I shall leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed that little review. Please feel free to subscribe or comment, and I shall see you again for another review. Thanks for watching.